Hello and welcome to BizRun. In this short video, I'm going to introduce you to how you can update the compensation of one of your employees. So currently I'm logged in as Arista, who is a manager, and she has a number of direct reports. And today we're going to try to update the compensation for one of her direct reports, Callie. Now this can be accomplished by either being initiated by either the supervisor of an employee or a designated administrator. And there's two ways to begin the process of updating compensation. When I scroll over the profile picture of Callie and I click on the small pencil, one way is she clicks on the person gear and clicks on Update Compensation. And this will bring up our Update Compensation tab, and from here we can begin to make changes. The other way to access this form is by clicking on Personal Info. This is going to bring up the information or employee record keeping tab for Callie. And I can go to Compensation. Here we're going to see a summary of Callie's compensation history. And I can begin the update process by clicking on the green button here on the right-hand side. And you'll note that this brings up the exact same form we just had. From here, I can click on this chevron and open up Callie's history. So we just viewed that inside of Personal Info, but it's also available here. If I roll my cursor over one of the green bars, I can see the specifics of this particular pay change. So I can close that. I can change the pay type. Right now, we're recording the hourly pay type here, $26.44. I'll leave that as hourly. If I change this to a pay basis, we want to view it on an annual basis. Now we can see the $54,000 that her hourly pay would equate to. Or if I change that to monthly, I can see what it equates to on a monthly basis. I can change the pay status, the number of options here. We'll keep it at regular full-time. I can change the FLSA status, exempt, non-exempt. We'll leave it here. We just showed how you could change the pay basis. In the case of where overtime is important, we'd want to select the workday or the start day of the work week. So in this case, I'm going to put Monday, and then we can add various overtime rules. In this particular case, I have 2 overtime rules already created, but you can create your own customized overtime rules with BizRun to be added in addition to something like the federal overtime rules. So actually making the change, I can either click on the first radio button and just put in a whole new salary. So let's say I'm going to make this $5,000. And that will equate what that pay change is on a monthly basis and what the percentage is. Or if I want to do this I clear this out, back to the original, and I want to make the change a dollar amount by month, I could just simply type in $100. That's going to show that this is a little bit over a 2% raise. Or if I wanted to, I could simply do this by percentages and say I want this to be a flat 3%. And that will now make the update. So current pay is $4,582 and some change, and with 3% raise, it'll go up to $4,720. I then can put in a reason code, so there's a number of reasons here that you can select from the drop-down. Or if I wanted to put in my own reasons, I could just put in spot bonus. So that could go in. So I can select whatever reason I want, or put in my own custom reason, and then of course I can select an effective date. Now here we have the approvers. In this particular case, it's been initiated by Arista, who is Callie's supervisor, And the additional approver on this is the compensation administrator. I'm going to show you in a second where you can change the approval workflow. But I've got the change in that I want. I've made the changes. Now I click Submit. And this particular update to Callie's compensation is going to go for review and approval to the compensation administrator and any other level of supervisor that we may have designated. Over here on the right-hand side of my screen, I've clicked on Settings, Workflow, and when I come down to the Update Compensation Workflow, click on the Edit button. I can see here's the ways that I can configure this approval workflow. Right now I have it on one level of supervisor, and that's why it didn't need to go to another supervisor because it was initiated by Arista, who is Callie's supervisor. Here I can either require that the compensation administrator is on the approval workflow or not. So right now it's clicked on yes. I could click on no if I wanted to. Also, I could suspend this approval workflow if I was doing a mass change to compensation and I didn't need the approval routing process to be in effect. I could suspend this so that we could work in mass on changes to compensation across the board. And then finally, compensation visibility. In this particular case, I've given additional compensation visibility to both the employee and to the supervisor. And it's simple by clicking on and off to award that visibility. I click Submit and we're done. So that's that's an introductory to how to change an employee's compensation and also to change potentially the approval workflow for when that compensation change has been submitted. Thank you very much.